going to be Nuduja Mapa, a current third-year software engineering undergraduate. He's going to share his secrets about CI/CD with Heroku and Firebase. Over to you, Aya.
Hi guys, I hope I'm audible and visible and my screen is shared. Uh, so I will be doing hosting with CI/CD pipelining. Uh, so I'm Nuduja Mapa, SLIIT International 13 University of Engineering 30 undergraduate, and I'm doing physical science at University of California. So for the session's sake, I would be going with the textbook definitions. So bear with me, guys, and there would be a practical demonstration at the latter part. So what is CI/CD pipelining? A CI/CD pipeline automates a software delivery process. The pipeline builds codes, run tests, and safely deploy a new version of the application. Automated pipelines remove manual errors, provide standard feedback loops to developers, and enable fast production iterations. So when you talk about CI/CD pipeline, I'm sure you have wondered what is CI and what is CD in CI/CD pipeline. So in all the cases, CI in CI/CD pipeline means continuous integration. In continuous integration phase, it automatically builds, tests, and integrates code changes within a shared branch or a trunk. And when we talk about CD in CI/CD pipeline, it gets a little bit complicated. So in most cases, CI in CD in CI/CD pipeline means continuous delivery, but in some cases, it also means continuous deployment. So in the continuous delivery phase, it automates the release of that validated code to a repository. The validated code that was successful in the continuous integration phase to the repository. In continuous deployment phase, we automatically deploy code changes, the code changes which was validated and shared to the repository, to the production environment. So there are different, as you have known, there are different phases of CI/CD pipeline: continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. And even continuous integration has sub phases, which are build, test, and merge. So in the build phase, we build the code. In test case, we test the code changes, and we may merge to a shared trunk in the merge phase. So after that, after all these three are completed, we call that CI phase of the CI/CD pipeline has completed successfully. And then we move into continuous delivery, where in which we automatically release to the repository, and then we move to continuous deployment if there is any deployment, in which we deploy it to our production. So in build, the stage where the application is compiled; test, the stage where code is tested; release, the stage where application is delivered to the repository; deploy, in this stage, code is deployed to the production environment. So why do we use CI/CD pipeline? Basically for deployment velocity, stability and reliability, automation, speed, and resilience. Deployment velocity. Ongoing feedbacks allow developers to commit smaller changes more often versus waiting for one release. Stability and reliability. Automate continuous testing ensure that the code base remains stable and release ready at any time. So when you talk about stability and reliability, in each phase, we do the building, testing, and merge successfully. So at a given time, we have a code which have successfully passed the continuous integration phase. So that code is built successfully, tested successfully, and merged successfully with the repository. So in that sense, the code is stable and reliable. Automation. CI/CD can be done manually, but that's not the goal. A good CI/CD workflow automates builds, testing, and deployment. So you have more time for code, not more tasks to do. So it is a waste if we have to use valuable manual labor to a task which can be easily automated. Speed. CI/CD contributes to overall DevOps performance, particularly speed. Resilience. When used with other approaches like test coverage, observability tooling, and feature flags, CI/CD makes software more resistant to errors. So these are few of the most popular CI/CD tools used in the industry: Jenkins, Circle CI, AWS Code Build, Azure DevOps, Bamboo, Travis CI. And in the latter part of the session, we would be using GitHub Actions workflow to implement CI/CD workflows. So the mindset we carry is that we always want to automate ourselves into a better job. We want to make sure that the task we are doing manual today becomes mostly automated. This is uttered by Andrew Mulholland, an employee of GitHub. So let's move into hosting. So what's hosting? Web hosting happens when the files that make up a website are uploaded from a local computer onto a web server. The server's resources, RAM, hard drive space, and bandwidth are allocated to the website using. So basically, in hosting, it is which the website or the web application is uploaded to a web server, in which we allocate the service resources such as RAM, hard drive space, and bandwidth to run our website or the web application. So these are few of most popular hosting sites you can use to deploy your ITP project. Netlify, Heroku, Rockspace, UpCloud, Vultr, Azure. In today's session, we would be doing a little demonstration on how to host a backend and a front end and connect the endpoints. So we would be hosting our front end, which is an Angular application, in Firebase using its CLI, and we would be deploying our backend, which is an Spring Boot application, in Heroku using its GUI. So let's move into the practical session. So first, let us deploy our backend. So let me clone it. So it is being cloning. Okay. And let us open the Heroku side. So first you need to make an account in Heroku, and then you will be coming to this dashboard where you can create app, and it will be listing all your previous build apps here. So either we can use this button, since we have not built any apps earlier, and after that we can use this button to create a new app. So in here you have to give a unique name, not unique in just in your Heroku account, but unique in Heroku at all. So let's give demo spring. Okay, as you can see, demo spring is not available, and I have not created any deployments earlier, so you get the point. So let's okay. So I will be going with demo spring B, and I will be creating the app. Okay, so there are 3 tabs here. If you're using the Heroku CLI, you can use the steps given in here. So you have to download and install Heroku CLI first. So if I'm using GitHub Connect, we can go with this tab. And if you are gonna go with container registry using Heroku CLI, we can use it here, and all the steps are here. Okay, so for this instance, we will be using GitHub Connect. In here, there's a button to connect our GitHub profile here. So when you click that, you will be redirected to a page where you have to log in using your credentials for GitHub, and then you will come to this page. So I have already connected my GitHub repository. In here, you should give your repo name. This is my repo name. I will copy this. I'll paste it here, and it will list all the similar repositories with similar name in our account. So I'm going to connect it, since this is the one I want. Okay, this is the important part where you can configure your automatic deployments for your backend using Heroku. So enable the chosen branch to be automatically deployed to this app. Every push to the branch you specify here will deploy a new version of this app. Deploys happen automatically. Be sure that this branch is always in deployable state, and any test has been have passed before you push. So as mentioned here, please make sure that the branch you make to be deployed is at a state which can be deployable state. So I will be listing for master branch. As you can see, there are 2 branches here, and it is listed down here also. So I can choose any branch I want. I will be choosing the master branch. and I will be enabling automatic deploys by pressing this button. Okay, as you can see, it has changes every push to master branch. So the branch we have selected earlier. So I will be deploying our Spring Boot application now. It will take a few seconds depending on the complexity of the application. So they have received the code from GitHub to the Heroku repositories, and they're building the master branch right now. So let's wait a while. It's launching now. Okay. Okay, as you can see, it passed the release phase, deployed to Heroku. Your app was successfully deployed. So we can view by clicking this button. Okay, this white label error page. This is a generic error page which is displayed in Spring Boot applications if there was no page to be displayed. So let's go to our application here and open it with VS Code and check for the mapping. Okay, so to do controllers, to do controller. So I'm required to use to do in the URL, and I will be opening my Postman. Okay, let's wait a bit till Postman is open. Okay, it's taking a long time. Let's see. So let's copy the URL. This as you can see from the URL, this is hosted in Heroku app under the name demo Spring B. So let's type it here, and it'll take the sorry. Okay, so here, and I will be sending him the request. Okay, let's see. As you can see, is successfully. So the backend is successfully deployed to Heroku, and we are getting the responses when we send the request. Okay, so let's move on with our front end right now without taking any much time. So this is the repository of the front end. I have already cloned the front end repository, and I have run npmi to install the node packages. As you can see, I have run npmi earlier. Okay, so after that, let's go to the Firebase CLI page. Since we are using CLI to host our front end in Firebase, so I'll be using Windows since my machine is Windows, and I'll be using npm to install the Firebase. So since we're using npm, we need Node.js installed. As you can see here, they have listed the first requirement is to install Node.js in your PC. And then we can use this command to install npm, Firebase CLI. So just you have to type this in your terminal, then it will install. I have already installed that, so without taking time, I will just go to this. For initiating a Firebase package in here, we have to run Firebase init. We have to just go to the directory of the application which we need to be deployed. Okay, let's pull this up a little. Okay, so are you ready to proceed? Yes. which Firebase features do you want to set up for this directory. Press space to select feature, then enter to confirm your choices. So real-time database, no. File store, no. Functions, no. And hosting, yes, I need hosting. Configure files for Firebase hosting, and optionally set up at GitHub Actions. So I can select it here from spacebar. And if I need another feature, I can just simply select it with the spacebar. Since for this instance, I only need hosting, I will be going with this and press enter. And I will be using an existing project. Either you can create a new project, or I will be using a existing project right now. What do you want to use your public directory? Okay. In here we must give disk, configure as a single page app. So single page app is a application which rewrites its current page to which rewrites dynamically its current page with new data. So basically React apps and Angular apps are examples of single page apps. So yes, set up automatic builds and deploys with GitHub. Yes, this is an important place. This is a place which they ask whether we need uh, automatic CI/CD workflows in our application. And I will explain this in the latter part when I explain the GitHub Actions workflows. Okay, so we need a Firebase account, obviously. So they will check my logins as it's success logged into GitHub as usual. I have given my name. So the repository username and repository name. So can go to here and copy the repository name, and they have given us the format in which they need them to be. So they are retrieving a service account. Okay, service accounts are accounts which are created to occupy services in which we don't need to share our user credentials. So set up the workflows to run build script before every deployment. Yes, we need that. What script should be run before every deployment? We will be checking npm CI and npm run build, which are the pre-build. So we'll be using that. Set up automatic deployment to your site's live channel when a PR is merged. Yes. What is the name of the GitHub branch associated with your site's live channel? It's a master branch. Firebase initialization complete. Nice. So there was no errors. As you can see, there are a few files which have been created. This file.github.git. I will explain this one later. And this one for Firebase. So for the meantime, I would be deleting this folder, and then let's run a special code to build. So you might be wondering what this nc build prod is. So search it. So every time you encounter something you don't know, keep in a habit to search them, so you might learn a thing. So nc build prod do is they will make a build with the configurations in the environment. So it will do the configurations as in this environment file. And I have also forget a step here where I have to give the environment, the backend of the endpoint of the backend to here. So let's cancel this. Okay, so let's take the backend URL. Here. Depending on how they have mapped the front end, we might need this or not. So this might cause an error if you're not sure. So be mindful of this. So I'm going to copy this and paste in the other environment we used to make our build. let's run the code again. Okay, as I was telling earlier, so they are making the build according to the configurations of the environment prod. And prod build is development build files are not minified and uglified, but production builds of files are minified and uglified. So minification is the process of removing excess white spaces, comments, and optional tokens like curly brackets and semicolons. In minification and uglification, generally used to reduce the bundle size. So that's what we are doing right now. It's still generating. It might take a little bit time, so we might have to wait. Depending on your complexity of the application and the PC performance, obviously, it would take a little bit time. So in most cases, it would be under 5 minutes for simple applications like this. So it's running. So as I mentioned earlier, keep a habit of exploring the things you don't know. So it's still generating browser application bundles, and you might have to wait a little bit. Okay, it was successful, no errors apparently. And as you can see, they have created the this file again, this folder again. So let's try to deploy this. Okay, for that we are running the command Firebase deploy, and okay, this would only take few seconds. So deploy the hosting, adding files, finalize the version. Okay, so the one we want is the hosting URL. It gives the URL of our application. Okay, so let's run this and see. Okay, so when you encounter error, please make sure that you refresh. So sometimes it may disappear without an issue, without changing anything. So let's try that. Okay, apparently that doesn't work right now. So this, let's go with their page not found. This file does not exist and there was no index.html found in the current directory of 404.html in the root directory. Why am I seeing this? You may have deployed the wrong directory for your application. Check your firebase.json and make sure that the public directory is pointing to a directory that contains an index.html. You can also add a 404 HTML in the root directory. So let's check our firebase.json. It's here. And the public directory should direct to a folder which contains an index.html. So it directs to dist. Let's check the dist. Okay, so there's no index.html. Let's go into this folder. Okay, index.html is here. So we might have to change the path a little bit. So okay, I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna deploy again. Fingers crossed. Let's hope this runs. Okay. Nice. Again, no errors. So it is the same URL, by the way. So let's refresh. Okay, that fixed it. So that has connected with our backend, as you can see. Okay, as you can see, now it has gone to the complete section. And if you remove that, please come here again. So Our front end and back end is synced, and those are connected to each other, even though they are deployed in two different locations. And as you can see, our front end is also successfully deployed. It's not running in localhost. So let me show you the place where, like, the GitHub actions I promised earlier. So let's make a change here. This gives the topic. Okay, so I will change this to-do list topic to to-do list updated. Okay, this is the place where it contains the topic. Okay, and I will, as you can remember, I have made this to be redeployed when there's a push to the master branch. So there's only one branch here. That's the master branch. So let's push it to GitHub. Commit. Always remember to give a meaningful commit message. So, okay, and let's push it. Okay. Okay, now let's refresh this. As you can see here, there was no yellow circle here earlier, but now it appears a yellow circle. So this comes from the GitHub Actions. Let's go to that tab. As you can see, for the commit Firebase implemented, a workflow is running. So let's check what is that running. Okay, build and deploy. That's the job which is running. Okay, so it runs this workflow. Let's go into the code. Okay, this is the code. This is the place where we have to keep our workflows in GitHub Actions. So it should be inside the .github folder, and inside that folder there should be a folder called workflows, and the workflow file should be inside that workflow file. So let me show you in another perspective again. This is the .github folder, and inside there is a workflow folder, and inside there are two workflow files that are made in YAML. So you might wonder what is YAML. Let's search it. YAML is a human readable data serialization language, just like JSON and XML. So JSON uses a bracket notation, while YAML uses indentation, just like Python. So YAML has an extension of YAML or YML. So those are the two extensions using. Okay, this is the repository. Let's go into the code. This is the workflow which is running. Okay, so this is the code of a workflow. This is simple code actually. So the name of the workflow is deploy to Firebase hosting on merge, and on gives the event in which this workflow should be triggered on. So on a push, this workflow will be triggered. Not just a push to the branch master triggers this workflow. So when this workflow is triggered, jobs under this runs. So there's only one job here. It's build and deploy, and it runs on Ubuntu later. So runs on, in the sense, is the runners which the workflows run on. So it can be Ubuntu, it can be Microsoft Windows, or it can be Mac OS, or any OS you want. It can be a custom OS. You just need to give it properly here. So when this job is running, the steps listed down here will be run. So the actions check out version 2. So as you can see inside this, this is the one listed down here, and it was successful. There was no errors. And then npm c and npm run build, that's also running. As you can remember, we have made this in here, like they have asked us what need to be run, and we have given that the pre-built ones to be run. So okay, so that's the place. And this is the Firebase extended hosting deploy. So for this, they need the artifacts listed down here. So that's a basic breakdown of a GitHub workflow. And after this, as you can see, there's a green tick that shows that this workflow, there was no errors, this was run successfully. So let's go to the code again. As you can see here, the yellow color circle has disappeared and the green tick has appeared. So it means that this was redeployed and there was no errors in the workflows. So let's go to the hosted one, and as you can see, this was before refreshing and it shows that to-do list is a topic. Let's see the updated one. Okay, so this is to-do list updated as we have changed here, and we didn't redeploy it using Firebase deploy command. We just sent a push, and this was all done behind using the workflows. So this is a basic introduction of what is GitHub Actions workflows and basically CI/CD pipelining and how to host with hosting sites using CLI and GUI, so you may be comfortable when you are hosting your ITP project. So that's all what I'm going to do now. So over to you, Gana.
Thank you so much for that mind-blowing session, Nuduja. And sadly, guys, we have come to an end. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the speakers on behalf of the MS Club of SLIIT. I also extend thanks to all the lecturers for their support and cooperation. Once again, thank you all for joining this session. Keep up to date with all the future news and events of MS Club by following us on social media. Have a great day and good night.